Yo, what is going on? It's Brownwoodz TCG, and we are back at it with another deck list breakdown / guide / tips and tricks on a brand new deck that I just started playing, and it is none other than Brownwoodz Birdcage. What is going on? So if you guys don't know about Birdcage, I'm about to put you guys on right here. So we got the grape Doffy. A lot of people call it grape Doffy. I just like calling it Birdcage because Birdcage is just, when you hear Birdcage, it just sends fear down people's necks. Not even gonna lie to you. So starting it off, if you guys don't know what grape Doffy does, if you guys don't know what Birdcage does, you know what? Let's just read Birdcage first because this is literally the bread and butter of this deck. Birdcage, 5 cost stage card. 5 cost stage card. If your leader is Donquixote Doflamingo, boom, here we go. All characters with the cost of 5 or less will not become active during both players' refresh phase. Then, at the end of your turn, if you have 10 Don cards on your field, KO all rested characters with a cost of 5 or less, then trash this stage. So what does this mean? It means that if you have a 5 cost on the field and Birdcage is up, if you swing with your 5 cost and you know, obviously when you swing you rest your character, right? They stay rested forever. They don't become active no more. They are pretty much dead to rights. They will remain rested for the remainder of the duration of Birdcage until Birdcage pops, or if you have some other random way to restand your character with like something like this. Other than that, they will remain rested in Birdcage. So that's Birdcage. Pretty much the whole function of this deck right here that I built is to completely make the game unplayable and not fun for my opponent. This is a troll deck. This is a strong troll deck. It's a way that you can win games and troll your opponent at the same time, and it's super fun to play. So starting it off with our leader, Donquixote Doflamingo, 4 life, green purple, 5k power, and at the end of your turn set 2 of your Don cards as active. So this is going to be 2 Don cards that are rested Don cards, right? So if, for example, if I'm at 5 Don and I play Queen, you know, obviously rest 5 Don, then Don -1, I have 4 Don rested. When I end my turn, 2 of those Don get set active. And what does that help me with? Well, in this deck, I run a bunch of 2 cost events. Pretty much, my ability works in cohesion with all of these events to always have a defensive play at the end of every turn. Pretty much that's what my ability does. It just restands 2 Don at the end of every turn. Moving on to our 2 different 2Ks is going to be Viola and Baby 5. These never see the field. They only work as defensive 2K counters. This one right here, 1 cost Baby 5 and 3 cost Viola. Their only function is to function as a defensive 2K. Pretty much straightforward. There is one super situational scenario where you do play this card, but it's super situational, and I've actually done it a couple times. So if that comes up in one of the test games, I will let you guys know how that functions. Moving on to one of our pretty much one of our core pieces, MVPs of our deck. It is going to be the Sugar. I'm sure a lot of you guys have faced Sugar in like Yamato decks or, you know, just green decks in general, but Sugar is unleashed when she pretty much plays inside of a Donquixote Doflamingo engine, or Donquixote Pirates engine, because obviously right here it says opponent's turn. Well, first let's do the on play. On play, rest one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. So if I have Birdcage up and I play Sugar to rest one of your characters, they stay rested until Birdcage is done, until I choose to KO them with Birdcage, or they just stay rested forever. So super strong. And then on top of that, on my opponent's turn, when your opponent plays a character card, if your leader is Donquixote Pirates, obviously we run in the grape, rest one of your opponent's characters, any cost, then rest this card. So, if I have a sugar in play and my opponent plays a freaking 8 cost Moria, oh, guess what? I rest sugar and I rest Moria. Boom. Real simple, real clean like that. Also, if sugar is already rested and my opponent plays a card, I can still rest one of my opponent's characters even though sugar's already rested. Why? Because if you read the ability, the first thing it says to do is when your opponent plays a character card, rest one of your opponent's characters. So you do that first, then rest this card, right? The resting of sugar is not a mandatory requirement to get the first effect off. Otherwise, it would be reversed. It would say first rest this character, then rest their opponent's card. But the fact that it's reversed, it lets us be able to rest stuff even if sugar is rested herself. So super important piece of information there. A lot of people don't know about it just because it's like there's a whole bunch of interactions with sugar that get murky and stuff like that. But even me, I'm learning more and more each day. So yeah, there's sugar. Disgusting piece of our birdcage unit right here. Moving on, we have the Diamante. Diamante is a 5 cost blocker, 5 cost 6k, 1k counter, and he has a pretty super good ability. Not even gonna lie to you guys. It is Dawn times 1. So if I put 1 Dawn on him and swing 7, right? He rests himself, right? Because whenever you swing, you leave your characters rested. It says here, if you have Dawn times 1, end of turn. So once I finish my turn, after I've swung with him, if you have 2 or more active Dawn, set this character as active. Oh, and guess what my leader does? End of your turn, set 2 Dawn as active. So I can swing with Diamante, and I end my turn, set 2 Dawn as active, and then his ability procs, if you have 2 or more Dawn active, set this character as active. So he restands himself. So what does that mean? It means that in Birdcage, right? Birdcage applies to him because he's 5 cost. Birdcage is all characters 5 or less. I can attack with him and restand him in Birdcage for free. All I have to do is have 1 Dawn on him. Even if he's already rested, right? And I just put 1 Dawn on him, he restands himself. So super core piece right here. You're pretty much gonna have a swinging blocker every single turn, and he's gonna be restanding himself. So of course you need that 1 Dawn, but super nice piece. I actually got the altart of this bad boy right here. I have one SP sugar, 1 altart Diamante, and boy, they look pristine. Shout out to my boy Jeff for hooking me up with both of those. I still need his leader, so I'm still hunting it. So that's the only piece that I need. Moving on, we have the raid boss, Donquixote Doflamingo 10 drop. What this guy does is on play, a total of 3 of your opponent's rested characters or leaders do not become active during your opponent's next refresh phase. So what does this mean? It means that when I play Doffy, when I play 10 drop Doffy, I freeze 3 characters and or a leader. I freeze 3 units, and they pretty much they remain rested for my opponent's next turn. So super strong power right here. Hitting your opponent with a 10 drop Doffy feels amazing. Not even gonna lie to you guys. It's a dopamine hit. Like boom, 10 drop Doffy, all 10 Dawn, freeze 3, and then good luck. You know what I mean? Especially if Birdcage is up, like it works in tandem with this. Obviously if you play Doffy for 10 Dawn and you end your turn with Birdcage up, the second part of Birdcage procs, if you have 10 Dawn on your field, KO all rested characters with a cost of 5 or less. So you're going to be KOing everything on the field that's rested, that's 5 or less, and freezing leader, as well as like the bigger bodies who are not going to be KO'd by Birdcage. So super strong card. Once you start hitting Doffy after Doffy after Doffy, oh man, that feels crazy. I was just playing a game against my good friend BZK the other day. I hit him with 3 10 drop Doffys in a row. It was a late game. I was hitting him with boom 10 drop, boom 10 drop, boom 10 drop, and I had like 9 cards in hand, and I had a 4th Doffy in hand, and he hit me with a pudding. If you guys know what pudding does, pudding pretty much makes your opponent shuffle their hand into their deck and draw 5 cards. Oh man, that killed me. That hurt so bad. It was the first time I was ever gonna hit someone with 4 10 drop Doffys in a row. Like like literally in a row, 10 drop, 10 drop, 10 drop, 10 drop. And he hit me with that pudding. It literally saved him the game too, because if I would have hit the 10 drop Doffy, it pretty much would have been game like the following turn. So it feels super great to hit to play these cards. I don't think they're too expensive either. I think they're like a couple bucks each. So this whole deck in general is pretty cheap. The most expensive card is going to be this one right here, but we'll get to that later. So 10 drop Doffy, it's going to be a raid boss card. You want to obviously lead up or ramp up to this guy. Not ramp up because there's no Dawn wrapping up in this deck, but you want to eventually get to your 10 Dawn turn, and then once you start hitting these guys, oh man, it's devastating for your opponent. So moving on, we already talked about BB5. This is the 2K as well as the Viola. We have our 1 cost searchers. So our Baby 5, 1 cost, and activate main. You rest 1 Dawn and rest this character. Pretty straightforward. Kind of like that the Momonosuke searcher, if you guys know that one. Same exact mechanic. Rest and then rest 1 Dawn. The cool thing about this card though is you can search the exact same Baby 5 searcher. So there's no limit. If you guys read right here, it says top 5 cards, reveal 1 Donquixote Pirates and add it to your hand. It doesn't say except Baby 5. So pretty cool that we have that ability to search for Baby 5s. This is super convenient, where like the way that you can make this work is if you have a Baby 5 and you like in your starting hand you are looking for Birdcage and you don't have Birdcage, but you have everything else. You have this in hand, you have a sugar, you have a queen, and you have this, but you're just missing the Birdcage. You can play this, search top 5 cards, and if you don't see a Birdcage and you don't see anything else that you might need, but you see another Baby 5, you just grab that Baby 5 and then search again. So you can kind of get a 10 card cycle or 15 card, like however many cards it takes for you to find what you need. But I just want you guys to know that you can search Baby 5 off Baby 5. So really important piece of information there. Moving on, we have the Queen, the Purple Queen. So Queen is super, super good. Its stats in general are really great. 5 cost, 6k body, blocker, 1k counter. That's always nice. And then it has the on play Dawn -1, draw 2, trash 1 from your hand. Right, so pretty self-explanatory. We're going to be drawing 2, and then if we already have a Birdcage up, this is going to be our main dispensable target when we trash a card, right? This is a dead card in hand if we already have Birdcage on the field. So yeah, pretty good card. I feel like it's essential in this deck, the way that I play it. And I'm going to explain right after I finish talking about this next card. This is our final character card. So we have the 7 drop Eustace Captain Kit. On play, it's going to be giving us the ability for Dawn -1 up to one of your leader cards gains plus 1000 power until the start of your next turn. So there you have it. You play this card at 7 Dawn, you -1 Dawn from the 7 that you just used, and your leader gets plus 1000. Pretty strong. Once you have 2 of these on the field, that's when you start really feeling the power. You play 1 Dawn -1 plus 1k to him, and then you attack with the other one that's already there because it's on play and when attacking. So you do another Dawn -1 and then plus another 1k. Your leader is at 7k until the start of your next turn. So your opponent has to deal with a 7k leader. Super disgusting card right here. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you guys the strategy by having these 2 cards right here with Birdcage. So let's read Birdcage one more time. If you have 10 Dawn cards on your field, KO all rested characters with a cost of 5 or less, then trash this stage. So if we have 10 Dawn, right? So this is at the end of our turn. So if we begin our turn with 10 Dawn and we want to keep Birdcage up, right? We don't want to trash it just because we like Birdcage. We want to keep our opponent locked down. Anything that they throw out, we want to threaten them with being rested with sugar. We want to, just make our opponent not want to rest his characters, as in not wanting to swing with them. So how do we keep Birdcage alive? Easy. If we have it up and we're at 10 Dawn, we play a Queen or we play a Kid. Either of these cards are gonna have the Dawn -1 requirement. So we're at 10 Dawn, we play Queen for 5 Dawn, Dawn -1, return 1 Dawn to our deck. Now we have 9 Dawn on our field, right? We have 5 active Dawn, 4 rested, and 1 Dawn that we just minus is back in our Dawn deck, right? So anything that we do for the rest of the turn, when we end our turn, Birdcage is not going to pop because it says if you have 10 Dawn on your field. We just minused 1 with Queen, so now we're at 9. The following turn, we're at 10 again, right? Oh, but this time we want to play Kid, so we're at 10 Dawn, we tap 7, we bring out Kid. Kid's on play, Dawn -1, we return 1 Dawn to our deck, right? So now we have, what, 3 Dawn active, 6 Dawn rested, and 1 Dawn that we just returned to our deck, right? Anything that we do for the rest of the turn, okay, whatever, we swing, we do whatever. When we end our turn, again, if you have 10 Dawn cards in your field, KO. So, since we -1 with the on play, we're at 9, Birdcage stays on the field. So, pretty important mechanic for people who are just starting to get the hang of this deck, is sometimes you want to keep your Birdcage alive. You want to keep your Birdcage up, just mainly because it's completely, it's a crazy way to lock down your opponents, right? If you have a sugar in play, anything that your opponent plays is getting rested, right? So, and if it's a 5 cost or less, it's getting trapped in Birdcage. So sometimes keeping Birdcage up is ideal for us. So using the Queens, using the Kids, and even using the Ragnaroks, which I actually included in here, it's Dawn -1, KO one of your opponent's characters, cost 8 or less. So using these 3 cards in tandem, not in tandem, but like, you know, in each individual situation, is going to help you to keep this Birdcage alive and to extend this Birdcage for as long as you can. And then don't forget, once you have him already on the field, you can Dawn -1 every single turn, because let's read his ability. It's on play / when attacking, Dawn -1. So even if we're at 10 Dawn and we begin the turn with 10 Dawn and he's already on the field, we just bring somebody out, right? We play a card, and then we swing with Captain Kid, Dawn -1, bump our leader up to 1k, and prolong Birdcage by another turn. So super interesting way to kind of keep the Birdcage alive. And this is going to be able to remove the bigger bodies who Birdcage does not apply to. Because again, Birdcage is only 5 cost or less. Oh, you have an 8 cost Moria? Boom, Ragnarok, what's up, right? And Dawn -1, I'm prolonging Birdcage. So pretty insane way to just remove stuff, rest it, keep everything locked down. How I was saying in the beginning, this is a lockdown deck. I like saying troll deck, but it's not I don't mean troll as in like, oh, it's like trash. Like, no, when I say troll, it's just like you're pretty much just manipulating your opponent, and you're just completely kind of how Doflamingo's like actual whole personality is, like, you know, he be using his devil fruit, right, to like control people and to like, you know, really just make people do whatever the hell he wants, and he's in complete and total control of everything. That's kind of how like the whole Birdcage engine works in and of itself. So it's not easy. It's definitely hard to pilot, but once you kind of get the basic mechanics, it's super fun. So moving on to our events, we have so again, at the end of every turn, we're going to be setting 2 Dawn as active. So we're going to be able to use all of these events as defensive weapons at any time. So pretty much 2 Dawn, off-white, counter. We bump up to 4k for any attack, leader or character. This will give us a plus 4k. And look at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal 1 Donquixote Pirate character, keyword character, and add it to your hand. Obviously return the remaining at the bottom of the deck. This is obviously a very good card. The only bad thing about this card is obviously the part that says Donquixote type character. That's going to pretty much limit us to be able to search for our event cards with this, as well as our Birdcage with this. So this is only going to let us search the Viola, Sugar, Diamante, 10-drop Doff, Baby 5, and that is it. Just our characters right here. So obviously it would be better if we could search any Donquixote type, but I feel like that would be a little broken. So I think that's what the game creators were kind of having in mind when they created this. So there's Off-White. It just came out in EB-01, by the way. So this is that brand new, fresh off the press card. Moving on, we're throwing it way back to OP-01 with some Punk Gibsons. Punk Gibson is extremely strong. Again, 2 cost, and it's a counter, plus 4k, and then rest one of your opponent's characters costs 4 or less. You could definitely catch people off guard with this. If they have, you know, a field of characters and they swing with leader first, boom, Punk Gibson, rest a 4 cost. Oh, I got Birdcage up. That 4 cost isn't doing anything for the rest of the game. So Punk Gibson, you could definitely catch people off guard, and it has one of the most broken triggers in the game, I feel. If you get this off life, rest one of your opponent's characters, no questions asked. Rest anything. You could rest a 10 drop Big Mom if they have one on the field. So Punk Gibson is strong as heck. The only I guess con about this card is its archetype. It's Supernova / Kid Pirates. So it is not searchable by Off-White or Baby 5. So if we accidentally bottom deck it, right? If we see it on a search and we bottom deck it, unlucky. But running 4 of these, typically you're gonna be able to draw into these, or you'll get one in life. Punk Gibson has saved my butt a bunch of times. So super strong card, and yeah, I have 4 of these in my deck. Moving on, we have the Spider's Web. Spider's Web is super strong as well. Counter is all of these are 2 cost counters, plus 4K. Then set one of your characters as active. So you could definitely catch people off guard with this. For example, if I have like a Sugar that's rested and my opponent swings into my lead, I could use Spider's Web to bump up to 4K, then set Sugar as active, just to protect her from any damage. If my Doffy is rested and my opponent has like 5 swings that he's about to swing into it, I defend the first one, restand him, and that's that. He's pretty much safe for the rest of the turn. If I have this Diamante, who he has a restand ability already integrated into his kit, right? End of turn, set this character as active. So I could swing with him, then he sets himself as active. If my opponent swings into my lead, I could block with him, and then boom, bump him up to 4K, and then restand him. So I can get 2 blocks off with Diamante. Super strong card, Spider's Web. You can use it in a number of different ways to restand Sugar, restand him, your Searcher, Queens. Like it's not character locked. Obviously, it says restand any character. So super nice and core piece in this deck, I feel. Moving on, we have the whoever wins this war becomes Justice. Pretty self-explanatory, 0 cost, trash 1 card from hand, plus 3K. I have this in here because I do run 4 Birdcage, just because I feel like I don't always hit Birdcage. Even with having 3 and then having like the Baby 5 searchers, there's some games where I don't see Birdcage, and I just rather have Birdcage every single game, or have access to it, have the option to be able to play it. And then obviously if I have too many Birdcage in hand, I need solid ways to get rid of them, so they're not just dead cards in hand, which is where this comes in. Trash 1 card plus 3K. I just trash a Birdcage. Or if I have Queen, draw 2, trash 1, I'll trash a Birdcage if I have already 1 or 2 in hand. Hopefully just 1 in hand. When you have 2 or 3 Birdcage in hand, you're pretty bricked up there, but that's why I have this card to get rid of them, or this card to get rid of them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We already spoke about Ragnarok, Dot -1, KO anything 8 or less. Super strong. You can catch a lot of people off guard with that. And yeah, that's pretty much the deck list right there. I think we're going to hop into some games just so I can kind of show you guys the power. See what we get matched up against. Birdcage, refresh, host public. Let's see who we get. Let's see who rolls into our lap right now and challenges this Birdcage. I've been having a lot of fun playing Birdcage, not gonna lie to you guys. Okay, red purple law. Oh, I'm sorry, not red purple, red green law. What do I want to do? I'll go second. So typically whenever I'm getting my first hand, I like seeing Baby 5s and Birdcage, but I don't see Birdcage in here. I'm gonna mulligan. No Birdcage. We got 2 Baby 5s though, that's really good. Brings out the Bonnie. So we have 2 2Ks, 2 searchers, and 2 events. Not bad. So we'll just do this. By the bottom 2. I'm gonna take the Doffy here, just because I don't want to bottom 2 Doffys. So I'll take 1 and end turn. 2 Dawn gets set active automatically, but whenever you're playing in person, you need to remember to set 2 Dawn as active. You could forget a lot sometimes. So he's swinging 5 into 1. We're gonna go ahead and give that up. Zoro, and he doesn't swing. Interesting. We could do another search to try to find our birdcage, and there it is. We'll grab the birdcage. And we'll swing 5 to lead. Leave 2 Don up, and then when we end our turn, another 2 are going to restand. So we can have access to both of these events if we so choose. So he's swinging here. I'm going to go... I'm going to go +4 and rest Zoro. And then give another 2. See what my opponent does here. See if he swings with this into this and doesn't get his search off. If so, that'll be good for us. So he opts to just rest it to search, and he grabs the Zoro off the search, and he plays the Mihawk, and he'll probably play the Zoro rested. And he gives up because he realizes that Birdcage is coming out. And look at that. That's literally how easy these games are with Grape Doffy. Our opponent seen the writing on the wall. Next turn we're at 6 Don. Birdcage comes out. I attach 1, swing 6, and it's just GG after that. So there you have it. There you have it right there. First game dub. First game dub. We make these people want to quit. We make these people not want to play the game. This is the Birdcage tech right here. Let's see who we can match up against next. Okay, we got a green Uta. We'll go second again. We got the sugar. We don't have Birdcage. We don't have search. So I'm gonna mull. And we get our searcher. So we'll just play that first turn. Search, no Birdcage. We can grab the sugar though. Next best thing. Yeah, we'll grab sugar. And turn, boom, to active bet. We have 2 7-drop kids here. I feel like this is gonna be a pretty grindy game. Not gonna lie to you guys. We'll see how it ends up going for us. 5 to 1. Yeah, you can have that. Usopp. Yeah, we'll just rest Usopp and swing 7 into him. And turn. Anything our opponent plays is getting rested because of sugar. And I don't think our opponent has any means to remove sugar either. So this is going to be a pretty good sugar game for us. We'll try to protect her. So we can choose to rest an opponent here. Who do we want to rest? Yeah, we'll rest this. We'll see if they activate the effect here. Trash an event card and restand a film type. Effect, boom, 6 to here. I wish we had Birdcage. No, we'll just give that. It's okay. We'll just swing into this to kind of stall out until we do hit Birdcage. If we don't draw it next. If we draw it next, ooh, we don't get it. Okay. See, I run 4 of Birdcage. That's why I feel like sometimes when you don't see Birdcage, it just does not feel good. So they're at 4. We want to for sure kill it. So if they can use like a 2K and a 1K and go up to 7. So we'll swing 7. 1, 2, 3. Wait. We'll swing 7. They'll give this to us for free, and then we'll just end turn here. 4 Dawn active. If they swing with leader first, we're Punk Gibsoning and resting this Brook. I think they will swing with leader first. Oh, they don't. Okay, 5 to 5. Resolve. Yeah, we can use this. Go up to 2K. Dissuade our opponent from swinging into us. Or they might still swing into us, but now they're gonna have to commit more Dawn. So they just play the Luffy and don't swing into us. Okay, that's cool. So we'll go here. -1, +1, and then swing 7 again to Brook. They could block, go +1K if they really want to keep the Brook alive. That's what they. Oh, they give it +2K. That's okay. Alrighty. So we do have a Punk Gibson now. We for sure can rest some stuff. We have 2 of them. So they might swing with Brook first, and then we could just rest the other Brook. We're at 6K. So that's the luxury of having this kit on the field. Plus 1k until the start of our next turn. So we still haven't drawn Birdcage. Hopefully we could draw it next turn. Just because both of these brooks are going to be rested at the end of this turn. They're going to swing with one, and then I'm going to Punk Gibson the other one. And then whoever else they want to bring in. So they're going to swing 8 to 6. We're going to do no blocker, Punk Gibson, rest this, go up to 10, resolve. Beautiful, just how I like to see it. We could even bring in another kid next turn if we don't hit Birdcage. Swinging 8 to lead, 3 for an I'm Invincible, or they can even throw out like a Nami or another Usopp. What do we like here? I wish we had another type of event. We're just gonna take this trigger plus 2k. Nah, we won't use that. They do play the Usopp. We don't get Birdcage, so we do have a lot of defensive options in hand though. So what we can do is we can bring out this dot -1 plus 1, so we're at 6, and then we will swing we'll swing here dot -1 plus 1. Okay, swing 9, end. So we're just dwindling our opponent's hand here. A lot of times Utas have like 10 to 12 cards in hand, not gonna lie, like mid to late game. So we're just swinging into their characters and just getting some counter out of their hand. So that's why we are at actually 7 cards to our opponent's 5. And we obviously haven't been hitting into their life, so that's preventing them from drawing these resources. So I'm just stalling out until I can find Birdcage. So swing 6 to 7. That's an easy 1k counter. No, I mean 2k counter. Boom. Obviously, if we had like a 1k, that would have been nicer, but wait a minute. Did I even have to do that? Oh, I fucking trolled. I was trolling. I didn't even have to defend that. Oh well. Hopefully I can draw a Ragnarok next turn. No, we hit this. So we're at 9, unfortunately, because we have been doing Don minus with both of these on the field. We have 3 2Ks, 3 events, and a 10 drop Doffy. So I think we just clear board here, right? So they have 2 blockers. So what could we do? 8, 9, 10, 11. 8, 9, 10, 11. We won't use action. They'll give us this guy. 8, 9, 10, 11. We will use Dom minus. Give us 1k. I didn't do Dom minus because next turn I want to hit 10 Dom. If I do both of these guys Dom minus, I'm gonna be back up to 9 Dom next turn. So I didn't want to do that. So they're gonna give us the Luffy here, I think. No, they give us that. So I will do. So I'm at 6 right now. I'll go 7. They'll take that, and then we'll end the turn with 2 Dawn up. That way we can use all our events. So next turn, Doffy's coming out. Our opponent probably is going to anticipate that. So we'll see if he ends up resting some of his characters. I do have a Punk Gibson, so I could rest his Usopp if he swings with leader first. I also have the restand, which I probably won't use just because I have 2 of them. If I restand one, they'll just attack into the other. So looks like we're gonna get the attack first from Uta. So in 6 to life, I will no blocker, Punk Gibson, rest this. They drew backlight. Doesn't really apply to us because we have no cost 5 or less characters that are really important to us right now. Just a 7/7, and then 10's coming next. So our opponent started to amass his hand a little bit. It's kind of scary for us. Let's see what they end up doing. I wish I had a Sugar. I wish I had a Birdcage. That way I don't have to commit attacks to this guy right here. Okay. I'm just gonna bring out the Doffy, freeze, and cancel because I could only hit these 2. I'll swing Dom minus +1. I'll swing Dom minus +1. And then I'll swing one more time. They will counter out of this. I'll probably go block with Luffy +1k. Ideally, +2k. Interesting. I wonder why they did that. Okay, end turn, +2 Don, or not +2, just 2 Don gets restanded. Okay, our opponent has 7 cards. We have 6. Looking pretty good. If they swing with both of these, I'm just gonna go Baby 5, search for Birdcage, play Birdcage. So I swing 7 to 7. I will give a 2k. 7 into 7. 2k. It's okay. I know that there are I'm invincibles. So okay, so he goes for the Luffy. Brings in the Nami. And then Nami is going to rest a Dawn. Draw the Brook. Sugar. Okay, okay. So I'm going to play this. Search. Ah, no Birdcage. That hurts. That hurts. So I'll just grab the 10 drop. I'll bring Sugar out. I'll play. I'll rest Nami. And I'll swing to Nami. Card action. Down -1. +1 to Doffy. Our opponent then has to choose to block with Luffy and go plus a lot. So he chooses to not do that. So 6. So we'll swing here. Down -1. +1. 1, 2, 1, 2. I could use 3 Dawn on here. 10 to this. Give it to me. 10 to life. Take. And end turn. 2 Dawn gets set as active, and I got a Sugar on the field. So if he plays anything, I'm resting one of these Luffys, and I'm swinging heavy for game next turn. Or I could just bring in the Doffy. I could freeze. I have a lot of options right now. So we'll see how it goes. I got the Baby 5, obviously. And this is a game where I haven't drawn Birdcage, guys. I have not seen Birdcage. What is this? We're on turn 9. So I've drawn what? I went second. I've drawn 9 times. And I have not seen Birdcage. And I have 4 of them. So sometimes you don't get these cards. So you just have to make it work. And this deck is built in a way where it can still withstand not having Birdcage and have different win conditions. So they swing 5 to 1. Still have 10 Dawn up. I wonder what they're gonna do. That's okay, because we're not gonna really search next turn. We're just gonna hit 10 drop Doffy. So he brings out the Kid. I can choose to rest one of these guys. I'm gonna rest the Kid. That way he doesn't get the Kid passive off, or he can play a 3 cost or less, because he's already rested. If I rest this guy, he can still activate his ability to bring in the 3 cost, and I'm still forced to attack into Kid. So it doesn't really matter if I rest one of these. I'm just gonna rest him. That way it prevents my opponent from summoning like another Nami or an Usopp or something like that, or the little 2 cost blocker. My opponent probably didn't expect that. That's why he's taking a moment. He's like, shit, what am I supposed to do now? So next turn we're gonna be at 10 Dawn. We could bring in the Doffy. I could have even rested this, because he would have rested this already, but I don't know, we'll see. We draw another 10 drop Doffy. Oh, that's nasty work. So we'll just swing 10 to lead. Oh, we have to swing at Kid, huh? We'll swing 10 to Kid. Plus 2k and plus 1k. We'll bring in Doffy, freeze both of these, and swing to Kid. Dawn -1, +1. gives it to us, and we will swing to lead. Dom -1 +1 takes it and swings 7 to lead, and they should block +1k. There it is, and we will end turn. So we're in a pretty commanding position. It's looking like it's our game to lose. We're pretty set up crazy right now. Insane board. 2 kids, 2 Doffys, and a sugar. So if our opponent plays anything, I'm resting one of these blockers. If not, I mean, I also can just opt to bring in the Doffy next turn and just completely obliterate my opponent even more. But I'm just gonna end it early. I'm just gonna see whatever they do. So they backlight, rest our sugar, which doesn't matter. Okay, they swing 9. I'm gonna go here and just restand our sugar just because we can, and our opponent gives up and gives us the dub. There you have it. There you have it right there. We had the birdcage in life, so that's where it was. I was looking for it. Next card was sugar. So there you have it, guys. Two quick game. Well, not 2 quick games. The first game was a quick game. So the first game showed you guys how troll it is and how crazy it makes people feel. It makes people not even want to play the game, like literally. And if you're playing people in person, like they can't just rage quit on like people rage quit on sim, right? If they're playing you in person, they have to deal with it. They have to be there and they have to sit through the whole birdcage and you just literally hit them with the Doflamingo string fruit or whatever it's called and just manipulate them the whole game. So so that was the first game, and then this is the second game where it's a little bit more drawn out, right? We're going against a late game raid boss in Uta, where like her whole kit is just like drag you into the late game and drown you, right? But here I am in the late game, and I'm the one doing the drowning, right? So super strong deck list right here. If you guys are having a lot of trouble playing or losing games, not with this deck, but like if you play other decks and you're encountering a lot of red purple law, this deck right here, Doffy, completely obliterates red purple law, just because everything is within range of this birdcage, right? Nothing gets restanded in birdcage if you're playing against red purple law. So if you guys are having trouble against red purple law, definitely pick up this birdcage. It's super cheap too. Again, the only expensive card in my personal deck list right here is going to be this queen, which is like 35 bucks each. So aside from this, you could pretty much get all the rest of these cards for like 40-50 bucks, like literally, like for all of these. So yeah, there you have it. There's the Brownwoodz Birdcage. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys can grab this and try it out at your locals, or just even try it out on sim. See if you guys rock with it at least before committing to buying the deck. But there you have it. Appreciate you guys as always, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.